you just going to let them battle it out, or are you going to make up your mind?
No, I think, you know, the first thing is to see how they come out and what kind of health that we have, you know. You know, how is Juwan, how is his physical health, and, you know, turf toe is not something that's easy to, you know, just get over right away. It is very painful, and it's in his big toe, and the joint in his big toe. And although it's not a serious injury, it's one that can bother you, especially as a quarterback. So we just got to see how he is and where he's at. And then Malik's just got to keep getting better, keep working at it, keep getting better.
Were you confident going into the game? Of course, you didn't know if you were going to have to use him, but up to that point, that he had reached the point where you could really, you felt confident with him, and Malik I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, you know, I thought he had a really good, you know, going all the way back to spring ball, I thought he had a really good spring game. You know, one of the things that with a guy like Lamar Jackson, Malik Cunningham, Stephon LaFleur, is you don't know how good they are until it's live. You know, you do all your drill work, you do all your throws, you do all the plays, but until it's live and you have to actually tackle them, you might not know how good they are. You know, Stephon, I used to have, you know, threw the ball on the ground and, you know, get upset about it, but when it was game time, he was either going to complete the pass or run and get a whole bunch of yards. You know, so in spring, we had a couple scrimmages that were live when Malik ran across the line of scrimmage. And then he, you know, excelled and showed the difference, the different player that he really is when it's live tackle. When we came back in the fall, I couldn't get myself to make it that way. If he gets hurt in a live tackle and fall ball, we have no time to get, you know, him ready or anybody else ready, so it was like I just couldn't do it. So, you know, you just don't know as a quarterback until it's live that's a, you know, guy with that type of skill to be able to run.
You also had to use Jordan there for a couple of plays. Just talk about how he reacted in a situation like that where he'd been sitting around and came out and actually threw a pretty good ball. They seemed.
Yeah, I was wishing they'd catch it, you know. I think Jordan's going to be a really, really good player. He's probably got the stronger arm than any of them. You know, can really snap his wrists and get good velocity on the ball, throw it really deep, has really good instincts. Some things that we've seen from Lamar when he first got here of being able to see things and quickly get the ball out. You know, that's shown up a lot in practice. We give him a lot of reps. And, you know, he's just, it's all new to him. You know, and you get some of these guys like him and at high school where all no huddle. Didn't have to call a huddle, didn't have to put anybody in motion. It takes a little bit of time to get over that, the stress of that. You know, it stresses them out. So we try to do it more and more each practice. And like last night, we practiced for a long time with the young guys. And, you know, you try to get that so he gets used to doing it. But he can really wing it. You know, he can really throw the ball. You know, I don't know if I should use, you know, those 4 games, one of the 4 games on that or not, but I decided to.
How much can you coach? How much is it natural ability? I mean, a couple times Malik had a free rusher coming right at him. He's still, you know, able to avoid it and make a positive play out of it.
Yeah, he couldn't do that at all until he got here. All coaching. No, I mean, he's just a great athlete. You know, he's just a tremendous athlete. Good instincts, feels it. You know, can feel it sometimes. And but we just, you know, you coach the technique and you coach the reads and, you know, the progressions, understanding protections. But they have to have instincts. You know, each quarterback has to have instincts, and some of them have the instinct to be able to make a guy miss and run, and some have the instinct to shuffle in the pocket and make the pass. You know, they all have their special talent.
What percentage of Puma's struggles Saturday were weather related, do you think?
I don't know. I'm not big on percentages, but it was hard on there. I mean, it was. I haven't been in rain like that, coming down like that. So, you know, look back on it, I probably should have just handed the ball off. And that's hard to do. You know, you start the game and all of a sudden it's a downpour and our first play is a pass play. So you try to go ahead and run the game plan, make sure the players have confidence in it. But it probably was a bad call by me.
If quarterbacks are healthy, do you have a position on the idea of using 2 guys in tandem, or would you prefer to just go with one all the time?
Yeah, going into the season, it was my idea that we'd have one and he's a starter and we go play. We have used 2 quarterbacks here before, Stephon was a senior. Felt like Brian was going to be the future. We were really looking forward, so we brought him in the second quarter, and he played the second quarter, did a good job, prepared him well. It was hard to defend us because it was like 2 different offenses. It was hard on Stephon. I think he did a good job of really focusing on the team and doing that, but it's really the only time I've played 2 quarterbacks. I'm not totally against it, but I think we need to get him healthy and see where we're at.
Dorian left the game. What's his status?
Yeah, I actually has good news on Dorian when he left the game because we weren't really sure. They went and x-rayed and he has nothing broken. He's got an ankle sprain. I'm not sure exactly where he'll be for this Saturday's game, but we're working to get him prepared for it, prepared to practice Tuesday or Wednesday. But it was good news. There's no question about that.
You touched on the new redshirt rule a minute ago. Does that make your decisions easier, or does it add another layer that makes them more difficult on when and how much to play players?
Yeah, I think it's easier to put a guy in there and go knowing that, okay, I still have 3 more games, to do it. And, this was a game where we really wanted to have the sun out, be shining, come out and play well, get a lead, and then get experience for guys. We had some guys that we planned on playing to use one of their 4 games that we weren't able to get into the game because it just never, got in a situation where there was enough time to put them in and make it worth doing. So we had to change a little bit, as we were sitting in here with it raining outside. Yeah.
What went into the offensive line shakeup before the game and then also during the game? You started Sheeler and then moved Lucaeus out to tackle during the game.
No, that's how we started.
Oh,
Yeah, we started with Lucaeus at 1 tackle and Mackay at the other, and then we put Cole at a guard and Linwood at a guard, and then started Sheeler at center. It's something I've been thinking and considering for a couple weeks now, and I wanted to see us practice that way. I like the way we practice that way. The first year we were here, we put Jamon Brown and Big John together on the same side, thinking that we'd be real powerful, but we needed to have Jamon at the other tackle spot. And I wanted to see how Mackay would play out there on the open end all by himself, and he did a really good job. And we had power blocking. Looking back on Lucaeus' career, the number of wins we've had with him starting at tackle has been very good. So I'm trying to make sure we get the best combination together. And felt like this was the time, this last week in practice was the time to really look at it and go. Kenny rotated in there all week at practice, so actually Cole went back and forth from center to guard. But I like the way it worked out.
Jonathan Grenard, do you expect him to play the season? Do you have any more on him?
I don't have anything more on him. I know it's an extended period of time, but I don't know the exact number.
It's not certain that he's out for the season, though.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
And then in the running game, you tried a lot of running backs again Saturday. What have you talked about being the keys to getting one guy to be the consistent guy?
Yeah, I thought that, Jeremy did a really good job. I know Jeremy can play and play really well. He's done that for us. He's led us to victories. He's got to get in shape. That was a big thing for him. He's been here for just a couple weeks, and, he's worked really hard at it. Like last Sunday when we were off, he came in, got his own work. I would bet he came in today and got some conditioning work in, all on his own. And players have their day off. Because he's trying to get back to where he can carry the ball, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row. Trey Smith was out. He wasn't able to get into the game. He did practice a little bit late on Thursday. We made the decision not to put him out there. I like Colin had a good week of practice, his best week of practice. He did a good job when he got his attempts in the game. And then I still like getting those young guys out there and trying to change the speed. And I thought, Hassan's done a nice job. And I think he'll continue to get work.
If you need to go to Malik again on Saturday and going forward, how confident are you in his arm? Because I know he has the running ability. You guys have worked on his throwing ability in going forward the rest of the season.
Yeah, he can throw it. He can make the throws you need to make. No question.
Do you have a final decision on Chris Klonakis?
He's still under the same suspension.
Coach, when you talked about Jeremy the other day before the game, you talked about him, kind of coming out of retirement. It is a neat kind of story. How did it come about to where he is back with you? And obviously he's not in shape like you said, but I mean he was going to be your starter last year before he got hurt, correct?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think there's some influence from family members and stuff that thought he would be able to go play somewhere close to home and get scholarship, and maybe didn't really understand the situation that some schools take a graduate transfer for. So he ended up where I was trying to check on him all the time too. I was trying to ask Colby, have you heard from Jeremy? Have you heard anything? With the thought in my mind, because we did have Lamar Atkins come back. He thought he was going to go somewhere and play, and he ended up with nowhere to go, so he came back and did a really nice job for us as his senior year. So Jeremy called and said, hey, things didn't work out the way I thought they were going to work out. Gives him an opportunity to play another year, an opportunity maybe to play from after this year too, so it worked out great.
You were talking earlier about some players you can't judge until you see them live. Did anything you see Saturday night change your opinion of Malik and his potential and how close he might be to competing for the starting job?
I've always had a really high opinion of him. I've always, since the day he got here, even recruiting. When we were recruiting Malik, the thing I liked best about him was that he played quarterback his entire life. He has the instincts and the knowledge on making throws and moving in the pocket. Watched all his high school tape. We have an old receiver that was at his high school, Damian Dorsey. So I was down there and spent a lot of time down there. The head coaches they ran a great offense, and you could see his instincts and the way he could make the throws and his knowledge. And then when it wasn't there, his speed. So I've always had a really high opinion of him, and I thought he played really well the other night. He's a very competitive young man that is very confident, and when we were recruiting him, one of the major things to his dad was that he was going to be a quarterback, because there was a lot of other places like Lamar that they were recruiting him. I know one school wanted him to play corner, had a scholarship for him if he would be a corner, but he wanted to be a quarterback, and he'd been a quarterback his entire life.
Bob, you said Lucas was a little myth, that it was Mackay that got the carry at the goal line. Is that an ongoing competition?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? In spring, we had this goal line tackle drill one day, and right at the end of it, I decided to call Mackay's name out. He ran right in the end zone. So Lucas really hasn't had his tryout yet. But yeah, I heard during the week that he was pouting a little bit because he wanted to carry the ball and get it in the end zone. So, but it was fun. You used to like doing that. It's fun in practice, because when you call that personnel out in practice, everybody starts smiling and gets some energy, and it's just something that's good for the team.
When will you decide who you'll go with the quarterback? Middle of the week, or after you see if Jawan's healthy?
Yeah, I call Saban and see how he figures it out. Yeah, I mean, I just really want to see him come out and practice and see how he's moving around and going. So once I see that and see how we're doing, then I'll have a good idea.
All right.
Thank you.